Oh hey, welcome back! Did you catch my review on the Vintage REVO Colt SS? This guitar is like a love letter to offset guitars that understands exactly what an offset guitar is and what makes them so cool and desirable and fun. And the build quality on this guitar is unbelievable. Sadly, my time with this instrument is coming to an end and I'm going to have to send it back really soon. But before I did that, I wanted to make a quick play-in demo to complement my deep dive review that I made before. And I also wanted to take the opportunity to compare this guitar with my other offset guitars. So in this video, we're going to have some more extended playing clips with the REVO Colt. And then we're going to go on to a back-to-back comparison between the Vintage REVO Colt and my Fender offset guitars. If you love offset guitars and haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really helps the channel out, and I've got loads more content coming all the time, exclusively dedicated to offset guitars. I'm currently working on some really exciting things behind the scenes, so please like this video to spur me on and help me continue creating the best offset guitar content I can for you. And stick around to see what I've got coming next. Alright then, so the plan for today's video is that in the first part I'm going to give you a little playthrough of the Colt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use three different tones, a clean tone, a distorted tone and a fuzz tone, to give you a really good idea of what this guitar sounds like in different applications and across the different sound combination settings you have on this guitar. And I'm also going to have a couple of demonstrations of how the Strangle switch sounds as well. But to put all of that into context, we're then going to compare the sound of this guitar with the sound of a Jazzmaster, a Mustang and a Jaguar to see what this guitar has in common with those other instruments and where it deviates from them. Okay, alright, let's start out on the clean channel. I'm using a Victory V4 copper into my Blue Guitar Amp 1 power amp. And I'm running that into the 2 Notes Cab M Plus, and I'm using a fat 4x12 with greenback speakers in it. I have the EHX Oceans 3 Verb on the floor and the WEM solid state preamp on as well. And we get a really nice, full, warm, clean sound like this. That's both pickups on together. It's really nice and fat and full, but you still get a nice amount of sparkle and clarity and jangle in there as well. Let's go to just the bridge pickup. You get that kind of combination of growl and kind of hollow sounding power of a trisonic pickup that's really cool. I think it sounds really good on an offset guitar. Let's go to the neck pickup. Okay, now let's throw the Strangle switch into the mix so you can hear what the Strangle switch does. So the Strangle switch is quite aggressive just used in isolation like that, but if you watch my full deep dive review, you can see it's actually really incredibly useful in a band mix to get parts to really jump out the mix, and then to get other parts to really sit further back in the mix but with a really fat, big, chunky sound. Alright, so let's add a bit of fuzz now and see what we get. both pickups. Super fun, so fat and full and chunky. Let's see what the neck can do. Strangle switch. Strangle off. I wasn't expecting that to get quite so doomy, but these pickups are just so loud and so fat, and they got so much kind of low mid-range content that it's just so fun for playing that kind of style. Alright, so moving on, I'm now plugged into the classic channel of the Blue Guitar Amp 1 Mercury edition, which is kind of based on a JCM 800 kind of sound. The only pedal I have on is the WEM solid state preamp, and this is how it sounds. So straight away, a really nice fat sound, again with that slightly hollow kind of sounding mid-range character that it has. Let's see what we can do with this sound. There's something really nice about this really fat sound in the low mids with that kind of scoopier upper mid or middle mid sounding thing. Combined with the high output on these pickups, it just makes them super fun to play. Just makes me want to kind of riff and chug and just play for hours. I'm not a big fan of people doing kind of 80s chuggy playing in reviews generally, but it's just so fun to do on this guitar. Let's move on and see what we can get in the middle position. Can you hear that super percussive thing? I'm just going to turn the WEM preamp off. Bass cut engage. Off. Now, in my original review, I said that the Colt sounds like it has all the best bits of a Jazzmaster, Jaguar and Mustang all rolled into one, which is a pretty bold claim. And so we're now going to test that by comparing it back to back with a Jazzmaster, Jaguar and Mustang. The pickups the Colt has on it are actually pretty interesting pickups. I didn't think I liked trisonic pickups, but I really like these. These Entwistle Astrosonics are so awesome. There's two things about the design of these pickups that really stand out straight away. And that is these massive 7.5mm pole pieces and the fact this pickup is significantly wider than a normal single coil pickup. This means that these pickups are loud and they have a ton of low end as well. Combined with the massive magnets and the large coil surface area, these single coil pickups are actually louder than the mini humbuckers I have on this Jag behind me, even though these use ceramic magnet boosters underneath the coil to increase the output. These really are a loud pickup, and I think they're going to come pretty close to the Jazzmaster pickups when we do this back-to-back comparison. Cool, okay, well without any further ado, let's get on with this comparison then. So there you go. What did you think? Do you think I was completely exaggerating when I said this has the characteristics of a Jazzmaster, Jaguar and Mustang all combined into one? Or can you kind of hear what I was talking about? I think it has the fatness and the volume of a Jazzmaster pickup, but I think it also has some of the gristle and twang and directness of a Jaguar pickup. But also, combined with all of that, you still get some of that mid-scoop sound and the kind of smoother quality of a Mustang style pickup as well. Now, there are some important things to note here. Firstly, the Jaguar and Jazzmaster both use two 1 meg pots. So you're getting a total resistance in that circuitry of 500k. On my Mustang, I have one 250k pot and a no-load tone pot. So in that guitar, we're getting a total resistance of 250k, which would be the equivalent of having a 500k volume pot and a 500k tone pot. In the Colt, we have two 250k pots, so that gives us a total resistance of 125k. And that means that this guitar is letting a lot less high end through than the Jazzmaster and the Jaguar, and also a bit less than the Mustang as well. So naturally, because of the electronics in this guitar is going to have a darker sound. And if we swap these pots out for the same pot values as in my Mustang or even in a Jaguar or Jazzmaster, we would get a lot more of that kind of clarity and high end coming through. And secondly, I have to say that on my Mustang, I have swapped out the bridge pickup for a Jaguar pickup. And I know that doesn't make this a very fair comparison, but I just find Mustang pickups to be quite quiet, quite mid-scooped and not aggressive enough. And you may have picked that up on the overdriven clip of the neck pickup. It's very quiet, nowhere near as aggressive. And I'm sorry I don't have a Mustang pickup for you. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things. I couldn't put a Mustang pickup back in there, so take that with a pinch of salt. So yeah, I love the sound of this guitar. I absolutely adore these pickups. I really wish I could keep this guitar and keep using it. I was hoping I might have been able to keep featuring it in videos and keep using it for my band as well, but unfortunately not. Vintage did give me a really kind offer to buy this at an artist price, but unfortunately I just can't afford it. So it's going to have to go back. But Alan, I have to say, you've done an awesome job with these pickups, and I might have to pick up a set of these in the future. Cool. Alright, well, I think that's everything for today's video done. I hope that gives you a better understanding of what this guitar actually sounds like, where it sounds similar to Fender offsets and where it sounds different and complementary to Fender offsets as well. If you're planning on picking one of these up, I hope that's helped you, and I have to say I can really recommend this guitar. I've enjoyed playing it so much, and I'm going to really miss it when I have to send it back this week. However, I am really grateful to Vintage for sending it to me at all in the first place, and I hope that this has really helped any offset nerds who are interested in the Colt to really see how this stacks up as an offset instrument. Cool. Alright, well, until next time, take it easy, look after yourselves, and we'll see each other again soon.